make concrete which is sustainable. As you know that this construction and demolition waste is a totally wasteless thing. So my concern is to reuse this construction and demolition waste to make recycled aggregate and to build a sustainable concrete where we will shortage the we will do the we will use this construction and demolition waste and which is very much like not useful for environment. So my topic is sustainable development of self-compacting concrete from construction and demolition waste by adopting equivalent mortar volume mixed design method along with two-stage mixing approach. So first, in my first slide, there is introduction part, and you know, and you see this is a demolished building. So here we have lots of demolished building because due to the like with the increase in population, rapid urbanization, and requirement
Ma'am,
of
excuse
huh?
me, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt, ma'am.
Hmm?
The slides they are not changing, ma'am.
Slides are not changing.
Yes. Have you put up on a slideshow, ma'am?
Yes, it is in slideshow.
Ma'am, please exit the slideshow because we have this very bad network. So probably it is not working because we are facing this kind of issue since 2 3 days.
Okay, okay. So now
Exit the
it is
slide.
changing.
Yeah, it is changing. Now the slides are
Okay,
changing, ma'am.
okay, okay, okay. So this is the introduction part where we know, like with the increase in population and requirements of sustainable infrastructure, we need, I think, new buildings and we need some land to construct this building. So due to this necessity, the old building being demolished because this building are no use, like this building loses their serviceability. So this building has been demolished. So after demolishing this building, we in this demolished building we have lots of different materials. In this flow chart or in this bar chart you can see that in this construction and demolition waste we have bricks, we have wood, metals, and other materials, but the major material is the concrete. Means concrete is of 65%. So like bricks are there, but it is 25% wood, 25% metals, 2%, and others are 3%. So the major material is concrete. So our concern is to reuse this construction and demolition waste and make a sustainable concrete. This is the third figure in which this is the bar chart here. You can see that this is a construction waste which is generated in different countries. So this is the unit is metric ton, and you can see that in Japan, in USA, in Ireland, Sweden, we have lots of construction waste generated due to the demolished building. So my concern is to use this thing. So this is the flow diagram of the preparation of recycled aggregate concrete. Means what is recycled aggregate concrete? Recycled aggregate concrete is concrete which is prepared by using recycled aggregate. Means this is the first photo is this is the old building. So this old building is being demolished and the demolition of old building is there. Now the third cycle is to segregate this construction and demolition waste from the demolished old building. Means we have both, we have bricks, we have glass, we have rubber, we have steels, we have everything. So from this thing we segregate construction and demolition waste. So now this construction and demolition waste is of different sizes and is of different type of shapes. So just we go through the processing of concrete into smaller size or into desirable size which we need to construct the building. So now from this construction and demolition waste is crushed into a jaw crusher. Jaw crusher is kind of instrument where we crushed our concrete or crust our aggregate and crust our demolition waste from my desired shape. Means I am going to or we have used the size from 10 mm to 20 mm. So this construction and demolition waste is crushed into different size by using jaw crusher. And after this, here we have the recycled concrete aggregate. This is aggregate which is known as recycled aggregate. So in lots of literatures, this term was written as recycled aggregate. Here I am using recycled concrete aggregate. So never get confused in both the terms. So recycled aggregate is same, recycled concrete aggregate is same. So here from jaw crusher we found the recycled concrete aggregate, and now this recycled concrete aggregate is used to construct recycled aggregate concrete, or you can say the concrete which is prepared by recycled aggregate. So this is the flow diagram of preparation of recycled aggregate concrete. Like the important is the importance of using this construction and demolition waste is this: after using this construction and demolition waste, we have some open land where we are going to construct new building, because we need some dump land to dump this construction and demolition waste. So in this manner, the useful land or the accessible land being like occupied by this construction and demolition waste. So we need some land to construct some new building. So by using this construction and demolition waste, we can use like 65% of demolished material. So this is the flow diagram. Here now we have the recycled aggregate, but I know that this recycled aggregate is weaker in as compared to virgin aggregate or natural aggregate. So here I am going to use the recycled aggregate for better performance by producing self-compacting concrete with the use of admixtures like fly ash, silica foam, and plasticizer. You can use any type of admixture. Here I am using fly ash, silica foam, and plasticizer. So this recycled aggregate concrete, like I am means what I have done. I have done the recycled concrete aggregate, and by using this recycled aggregate, I have prepared the self-compacting concrete. So, and you know the self-compacting concrete, its name suggests that it flow under its own weight without any kind of vibration or external compaction. So, like self-compacting concrete maintains homogeneity, maintains workability, and it has inbuilt quality of maintaining homogeneity and workability. So we prefer the self-compacting concrete, and the self-compacting concrete has three most prominent fresh properties like sealing ability, passing ability, and segregation resistance. So this is the one self-compacting concrete. Here I am just introduced what is self-compacting concrete. But the problem related to recycled aggregate concrete is this: while using this natural aggregate, we only have one interfacial transition zone, because this one, the natural aggregate is a fresh aggregate. Yeah, in the natural aggregate, we don't have any kind of other mortar on it because it is a fresh one. But when we are using recycled aggregate, some kind of paste, some kind of mortar added on the surface of recycled aggregate, because it is impossible to remove this other mortar which is attached on the surface of recycled aggregate. So now, first, we have already a adult mortar on the surface of RCA. Now, I am using this RCA with new paste and built a concrete. So, now we have two interfacial transition zone. First interfacial transition zone is the old one which is attached already on the surface of RCA and on the old mortar paste. Now I am covering this aggregate with new mortar, and this mortar makes new interfacial transition zone with the old paste. So this is the main problem related to recycled aggregate concrete, because when we are using recycled aggregate concrete, we have two interfacial transition zones as compared to normal aggregate, because normal aggregate is like simple aggregate, there no adhert mortar, not no any kind of paste is there. This is the raw material which we have collected from some site, and then we are using this aggregate in mortar paste to build some construction or to build concrete. So here the problem is we have in recycled aggregate we have two interfacial transition zone, while in a virgin aggregate or natural aggregate concrete we only have one ITZ, and this one ITZ is new one, so it has some more strength as compared to recycled aggregate concrete, because the old interfacial transition zone is porous, is very much weaker, and it has lots of pores. So our concern is to make this old interfacial transition zone stronger, then only we can achieve our desired strength. If this old interfacial transition zone is not very much strong and it has number of pores and it has the water content more than the natural aggregate, then we can't achieve our desired strength, because our concern is to make this interfacial transition zone stronger or more like dense. So this is the first problem related to recycled aggregate. So what is the method to improve the properties, and what we do to improve the properties of recycled aggregate concrete? So the first method is, can we do the treatment? Yes, we can do the treatment procedure. What is the treatment and what is the meaning of this treatment? Treatment means we know that in interfacial transition zone we have lot of pores, cracks, and lots of pores and lots of cracks. So first we go for the treatment procedure. What is the treatment? In this treatment, RCA means recycled concrete aggregate is soaked in sodium silicate solution for pre-treatment and then coated with various percentage of silica fume. As you know, that silica fume has a high number of SiO2, and this SiO2 is very much useful in later stage of hydration and in later stage of strength. So this silica fume is very much important for getting the later strength. So here I am using silica fume to cover all the pores which is available or which is attached on the surface of RCA. So this silica fume is used to cover or to fill the pores. And you know that silica fume is very much important, like it is very much useful for later stage or for rate of hydration. So here I am using silica fume to cover all the pores which is on the surface of RCA. This is the first method of treatment. Next is the mixing approaches. What is mixing approaches? Like we know that we have one mixing approach which is normal mixing approach, in which we have the mixing machine and we just pour the aggregates, then cement, then water, then fine aggregate, what we required. So and mix for some time and then pour into the cubes. So this is the normal mixing approach. But here I am talking about the different mixing approaches. What is the mixing approaches? We have different mixing approaches. I will explain this on later. What is the mixing approaches? So this mixing approach is adopted for improving the properties of RCA. This is the second treatment or second kind of mixing to improve the quality of recycled aggregate concrete. And the third one is the EMV. In my title it is written that equivalent motor volume method. So what is equivalent motor volume method? This one is basically used, like if I have already told you that this recycled aggregate concrete has some adhered motor on the surface of RCA. So if this motor which is attached on the surface is not taken into consideration, then if I am going to calculate the new motor which is going to add in the RCA, then the total motor, the new motor which is obtained by using some mixed design method or by using the or by calculating the cement, fine, water and everything by using different codes. So this is the new paste which I am going to add to build the concrete, and I have the RCA in which added mortar on the surface of RCA. So this new paste and this added mortar will make and will increase the total volume of the paste, because in a natural aggregate we only have the calculated paste which we have calculated by using different mix design method. So only we have only the calculated new mix design or new mix proportions by using, like I say, like using IS 10262 2009. I'm using this code, and after using this thing I will get some proportion of cement, fine, coarse and water. So I will get this value. Now in case of virgin aggregate, the virgin aggregate is totally a like aggregate type thing. Here no added mortar is there. So this calculation is only done for the virgin aggregate. But when I am going for recycled aggregate, so the calculation part is same, but here we have the added mortar. So while using or while mixing this thing, the volume gets like increased. So here my EMP equivalent mortar volume method suggests that we need to minimize the new paste so that the volume of mortar or the volume of paste is somehow same as compared to the natural aggregate. So this is the equivalent mortar volume method. So this different types of treatment and this different type of mixed design we are preferring or we are using to improve the properties or improve the quality of recycled aggregate concrete or recycled concrete aggregate. So here, this is my experimental investigation. I have done this thing. I have calculated the physical and mechanical properties of aggregates. Here you can see the specific gravity of virgin concrete aggregate is higher than the recycled aggregate concrete. And the most important thing is the water absorption. And here the water absorption of VCA, means virgin concrete aggregate, is only 0.5, and while the water absorption of recycled aggregate is 4.78. It is like a huge difference between what RCA and VCA. So the water absorption is the main factor which we need to minimize to achieve the target strength. So this is the main difference, and because this difference is just because of adult mortar, means the adult mortar which absorbs water from the outside or from the water which we required for the mixing. So this is the main difference between RCA and VCA, and the properties of fine aggregate is same, like it is 2.68, 0.82 the water absorption. So this is the physical and mechanical properties of different type of aggregates. So here I have used the mixed proportion of M30 concrete by using Nansu method, because still 2020 or 19 we don't have any kind of specified code books for designing the self-compacting concrete. So I have used this Nansu method to produce the self-compacting concrete by using the recycled aggregate concrete. So here, this is the mixed designation. The mixed designation is SCVAC, means self-compacting virgin aggregate concrete, and the last one is self-compacting recycled aggregate concrete. And there is a percentage, means my substitution percentage is first 0, then 20, 40, 60 and 100. So this is the proportion which I got from the Nansu method. And the thing is that my source of recycled aggregate is same. Like I am not taking the recycle from different source. But if my source is same for all the of recycled aggregate, it is like if one demolished quarter of medical officer ITISM Dhanbad. So I have used the recycled aggregate from a particular source. Means if you can use recycled aggregate from different source and compare all the properties, but my source is same for all the mechanical durability for all the properties which I'm going to find out. So this is the mixed proportion for M30 concrete. Next is the mixing approaches. I have already told you about the mixing approaches. Here we have three mixing approaches. First is the normal mixing approach, which we have generally used, means where we, like if we have any kind of mixing, we generally go for normal mixing approach. So this is the normal mixing approach. Second is the two-stage mixing approach, and third is the two-stage mixing approach having silica flow, fly ash, and cement. So what is normal mixing approach? You all know that the normal mixing approach is just add coarse and fine aggregate mixed for 30 seconds, then total cement and fly ash, because I have self-compacting concrete, so fly ash is must. So then cement and fly ash mixed for some good 30 seconds, and then add water and super plasticizer. Again, in self-compacting concrete, super plasticizer is must because we need to achieve the flowability. So, and as well as the strain. So finally we will add water and plasticizer, and then you will get the normal mixing approach. Now you will simply get the aggregate by using normal mixing approach. The second is the two-stage mixing approach. This is the something which is new. Two-stage mixing approach means we have divided water into two different zone. First, if I have something 1 liter of water, so I have divided water 500 milliliter and 500 milliliter. So half in our first stage, this two stage. In our first stage, I'm like first fine and coarse are mixed, same as a normal mixing approach, and then here I am using half water, means like say 100 liter in total. So I am here adding 500 milliliter of water. So half of the water and half of the plastic sardine will added and mixed for another 60 seconds. Why I have done this thing? Because I know that my RCA has number of pores and a number of cracks. So if I add total water at instant, then my RCA, the pores soaked or absorb that water. So in this manner, if I am adding half water, then this half water and this this half water and cement and means and the total fly ash we are going to add. So this half water and the total cement makes a gel, which gel interrupts into the pores of RCA, and then my pores are filled up by the gel of cement and water. So in that manner, our pores get injected with cement gel. So here, this is the two benefit of two-stage mixing approach, that in half of the water and half SP were added and mixed for another 60 seconds, and then the total cement and total fly ash were added. So this total cement and this half water uh, make a gel, and this gel interrupts into the pores of the aggregate, and this pores are filled up. So now the half of the water is like still remain, and this water is used for mixing of all the material like fine and cement and fly ash. So this remaining water is used to mix all the material. This is the two-stage mixing approach. This two-stage mixing approach with fly ash, silica foam, and cement. This is new. Means you can say this is proposed by me and my supervisor. So this is the new in which we are using silica film and fly ash. Then the fly ash is already in the two-stage mixing approach. Here, we have replaced fly ash with silica fume up to 7%. Like we can say that we have in two-stage mixing approach cement and fly ash. So in this mixing approach, we have replaced fly ash by silica fume up to 7%. So this is the two-stage mixing approach with silica fume, fly ash and cement. The mixing approach is almost same, but here we have a premix stage. What is premix stage? So in premix stage, um, uh, use RCA, pour RCA in the mixing machine and use little bit of water and silica fume. And this silica fume and water like uh, goes under the pores of RCA. So now the further method is same as of two-stage mixing approach, but here we have a premix stage. In this premix stage, the silica fume water is used to fill up the pores of RCA, because I have already told you that silica fume is a very good waste product, and you can use silica fume to enhance your later stage of your concrete. So here I am using silica fume, but the question is why I am using 7% of silica fume? Why I not we can use the 10%, 20%, 15%? Why we have restricted silica fume as of 7%? Because my concern is to fulfill my, this is the mixed design procedure for next mixed design method. So I just want to tell you that why I have restricted this percentage of silica fume at 7, because I need to fulfill my trace property of self-compacting concrete, because I have used self-compacting concrete. So you know that in self-compacting concrete there are I think 4 or 5 trace properties that you have to fulfill. This guidelines is given by European guidelines, and European guidelines is there for self-compacting concrete, and the range is given in the code book. So you need to fulfill all the range, then only you can say that okay, this is your self-compacting concrete. Like when we are going for normal concrete, we have to fulfill the slump for workability or compacting factor to say that this is workable. For self-compacting concrete, we have different stress properties. So for different stress properties, we need to fulfill all the guidelines. Then only you can say that this is workable enough, and you can say that this is self-compacting concrete. So what is the different stress properties? The different stress properties are slump flow, J-ring, V-funnel, and T-system. All I don't think these all are the parameters to fulfill the stress property. So here, like I have already told you that my percentage of silica film is 7%. So here, first is the percent of replacement, because I have my replacement percentage of RCA is from 0 to 100. So I need to fulfill all the trace properties for different percentage of replacement. So here, if I can say that my trace properties is fulfilled for 0% of RCA, my trace properties is fulfilled for 20% of RCA, but it is not satisfied for 40% of RCA, then this is not my overall work. My objective is to find out or is to satisfy all the trace properties for all the replacement percentage. So you can say that if 0% for 0% replacement, my percentage of silica fume is 10%, and I can say that up to 10% all the trace properties of self-compacting concrete will be satisfied. But if I will go for 100% replacement, then it is 7%. So it is not like a optimum. optimum means what? Optimum means this percentage is valid for all the replacement percentage of RCA. This is not valid for 2 cases. This is not valid for 3 cases. And again, it is on range for 60%. No, the optimum means this percentage have to fulfill all the category or all the guidelines or all the replacement percentage. So here, like for 0% replacement, I have checked all the phase properties. For 20%, similarly go on. So for 100%, I have checked all the properties, and from this chart, we will conclude, we have concluded that 7% or up to 7% of replacement of silica fume by fly ash, like all the phase properties are under the guidelines or within the range. So my optimum percent is 7%. This is the very much important because you know that up to 10% of silica fume you can go, because silica fume enhances the strain. So like why my percentage is 7%? You know that in lots of the literature it is given that up to 15% of replacement of silica replacement or using silica fume you can achieve your target mean strength or your desired strength. But my concern is to fulfill the phase properties. So for this for fulfilling this phase properties, I definitely go for 7% of replacement of silica fume by fly ash. So here, this is the phase properties for all the concrete, for all the substitution percentage. Here I just want to tell you the limit. What is the limit for T50 second? What is the limit for slump flow? What is the limit for jading? And what is the limit for V further? The time, the limitation is given in the code book. So this, like say for T50, the limit is from 3 to 5 seconds. So your this T50, your time is in between 3 to 5 seconds. So please be careful that while mixing this thing or while checking the phase property, it is or it will be in between the range. So this is the phase properties. And this is the mechanical properties. So in mechanical properties, I have performed or I have tested the compressive strength, flexural strength, and splitting tensile strength. So again, we have 3 mixing approaches or 3 mixing methods: normal mixing approach, TSMA, FFC, and in the second, we have the replacement percentage from 0 to 100. This is the mixed designation and the compressive strength. So my curing period is 7, 14, 28, and 56. So basically, like 56 days, like we used 56 days of curing because we have the silica fume, and I have already told you that silica fume is very much important for electrostatic strain. So like for 7 days and 14 days, you can see that there are huge difference between the mechanical properties or the compressive strength of 0% RC or 100% RC. But this difference, like after 56 days of curing, this difference can be minimized because this here the pozzolanic reactions takes place, and this pozzolanic reactions increase the strain. So if you are going for pozzolanic material like fly ash and silica fume, like fly ash and silica fume and different kind of GGPS, GGPFS, different type of admixtures. So wait for long curing periods. So if you have like 90 days of curing, you can see that the difference of the strain is like will be reducing. So you can check this thing. So this is the flexural strength result and splitting tensile strength. So this is all about the mechanical properties. But mechanical properties is not enough. If you are going for practically or if you're going for practical use, you have to check the durability properties, because mechanical properties is, you know, that it is okay by using. It is okay, but in practical, if you are going to construct some building out in like environmental condition or different condition, so you have to check the durability properties of that concrete. So here we have checked different durability properties. By before going for durability properties, I just want to give some idea about the microstructure. So this, you can say, okay, this is the difference, and the TSMA SFC gives better result as compared to normal mixing approach. So that in 28 days curing, you can say that with 100% of replacement using normal mixing approach, we have 30.1 Newton per mm square of compressive sorry, of compressive strength. So in TSMA SFC, the strength is 35.4. So you can clearly say that using TSMA SFC, you will achieve your desired strength. So this is in the macro level. So what is the reason behind the increment, and what is the what is the like that what is the use of, and what is the difference, and what is the reason behind the improvement in micro level. So here we have done the microstructure study. So in this microstructure study, you can see that in the first ABC, you can see that in A, figure number A, normal mixing approach, we have different, like we have lots of pores. This black color shows the pores, and this red arrow shows the interfacial transition zone. And you can see in this figure, normal mixing approach, in this figure we have lots of pores and we have weaker ITZ. But when we go for figure number C, TSMA SFC, you can see that the ITZ gets denser. No pores is there, and this ITZ in figure number C gets denser. So here you can say that it is in the micro level. In the micro level, the interfacial transition zone gets dense and gets stronger. Similarly, in the figure number, in second figure, like ABC, here we have lots of loose space and crack. This whole black shows the cracks. Again, if I go for the TSMA SFC, here we have denser paste and the cracks are minimized. Like in TSMA SFC, we don't have huge cracks and we don't have huge numbers of cracks. So in TSMA SFC, the cracks are minimized. So this is in the micro level. So you can say that okay, the mechanical properties is increased in this table, but it is not satisfied or it is not justified. So you need microstructural studies to justify your improvement, because this may be due to some weather condition, due to some material, due to some mixing pattern, due to some kind of manual error. So this can be happened. But if you are going for, if you have checked for microstructure level, then you can justify your answer that look at the microstructure studies. Here we got this thing, and this microstructure studies satisfied or justified our mechanical properties and justified our result. So microstructure studies is must to justify your answer. So this is for the micro level. Again, I will go for the durability properties, and here we have different instruments to measure the durability properties. So we have water penetration depth, creep, drying shrinkage, RCPT, rapid fluoride penetration test, and accelerated carbonation chamber. So here this is the result, and the result shows the same pattern, that the TSMA SFC gives better result as compared to NMA and as compared to TSMA. So the result is almost, a trend is almost same as compared to mechanical properties. Here this is the figure of cubes. Here in the this cubes, you can see that in figure number A, this TSMA SFC, this is the water penetration depth. So in TSMA SFC, the water penetration depth is less as compared to TSMA and as compared to NMA. So in TSMA, this is the water penetration depth, and this is the normal mixing approach. So the depth is maximum in NMA and it is minimum in TSMA SFC after 28 days of under the action of water penetration. So this is the water penetration depth. This is the result. Again, for checking the durability properties, we have a carbonation depth, and here you can see that the colorless part of the specimen shows the carbon affected depth. Means this colorless part, this pink part is your like not affected, and this colorless part shows the affected part. So here you can say that this in TSMA SFC the affected part is less, and in NMA the affected part means the carbon affected part is higher. So here again in TSMA SFC the durability property is okay. Again you will go for the rapid chloride penetration test, shrinkage and the creep, and you can say that the result is almost same as compared to mechanical properties, and the properties is okay or it is good in the case of TSMA SFC. So this is the sorptivity test. Again, sorptivity test is basically used for finding out the like water penetration, and this is the different test. This test is basically known as acid resistance test. So acid resistance test is basically used for like for checking the durability properties of our concrete. So here we are using two different types of acids. First is your sulfate solution and second is MgSO4. So here first is H2SO4 and second is MgSO4. So here like instead of water, your cube in acid solution for 28 days, 90 days and 180 days, and then after 28 days of curing, check the strength of the concrete and compare the strength with the water cured cube, and just plot. This is the graph for the concrete which is cured in acid with the compressive strength of the cube which is cured in the water. So here you can like examine the strength loss of the cube which is cured in acid and with the water cured cube. So this is the strength loss. Similarly, you can check the weight loss because in the water cured cube and in acid cured cube, you need to find out the weight loss. What is the weight loss for in both the cases? Like if we have water cured cube, what is the weight after 28 days of curing? And after 28 days of curing in acid, what is the weight of the like concrete or of the cube? So this is the comparison of weight loss between water cured sample and acid cured sample. So again, this is for the solution of MgSO4. This is the sorptivity result, nothing new. And again here I have done the elemental mapping of different elements of the concrete sample. So here I have taken the gray image of concrete, and this is the gray image where we have the aggregates and we have the paste. So I have like we have selected a portion in which we have aggregate, we have paste, we have IT gel. So selection is very much important. So we have selected this portion. So here this is the elemental mapping of calcium, this is the elemental mapping of aluminum, sulfur and silica. So in my mixing approach we have silica group. So the number of silica or the intensity, this is the intensity of silica is more, you can see in the aggregates. This is your aggregate. This black color shows your aggregate. So this aggregate has more intensity of silica because we have in TSM SFC we have premix stage, and I have already told you that in premix stage silica is mixed with water to fill the pore of the RCA. So in RCA we have like more number of silica. So here you can justify your answer with this microstructure or this elemental mapping, that this is the, again this is the aggregate, and here you can see that this aggregate has no number of calcium or no intensity of calcium because it is obviously black. Aluminium, because you know silica, in silica and we have some number of aluminiums, so aluminium is almost there in the figure. Sulfur, because the pores is filled up with silica, so sulfur is no traces is there in the RCA, but silica we have lots of intensity or lots of like intake of silica in this RCA. So this you can say that okay, your results may be justified or may be satisfied by with the by using the microstructure studies. Again, now these all results are used or are determined by using Nansen mixed design method, or by using RCA and by using Nansen mixed design method for self-compacting concrete. Now here we have the EMV, equivalent motor volume method. This equivalent motor volume method is like very much important to get desired strength, because in previous cases we have we don't consider the adhered mortar which attached on the surface of RCA. Here now I am going to consider to count or to taken into consideration the adhered mortar which attached on the surface of RCA. So the first one is the, as of you know, that the adhered mortar attached on the surface of RCA is very much porous, and like and this adhered mortar has numbers of pores, and this number of pores like needs lots of water, and this porous material has high water absorption capacity and lower density of RCA. So first, this is the basic problem with RCA. Second is, now I am going to take this adhered mortar content. So now what is the concern or what is the pros and cons of this mixed design method? So by taking the consideration into adhered mortar content, in mixed design method is like introduced, which is equivalent mortar volume method. And in this mixed design method, the adhered mortar, which is like on the surface of RCA, is considered as a part of total mortar volume required for preparing the normal concrete mix. Means this adhered mortar, which is like on the surface of RCA, now it is a part of total mortar volume required for preparing the normal concrete mix. Means this adhered mortar is now taken into consideration for the calculation of paste for preparing the normal concrete mixture. And what is the advantage of this thing? The advantage is we can see the advantage is in a reduction of new mortar required for the preparing the concrete mix. Means the advantage is now our total volume of aggregate or of paste is lesser as compared to normal mixing method. So this is the second thing, and the third is it is ensured that the total motor volume required for SCRAC prepared with EMP mix is equal to that of motor required for self-compacting virgin aggregate concrete. Means my concern is to make it equal, like the paste which is required for recycled aggregate concrete is equal to the paste required for the virgin aggregate concrete. So this is the calculation part. Here, this is the calculation for finding out the residual mortar content. This is the procedure for determining the adhered mortar content. Like we have here we have the freezer. So freezing and thawing is there. 5 cycles of freezing and thawing are used and are used for determining the adhered mortar content. This is the all about the methods for determining the adhered mortar content. And now this is the mixed proportion. So this mixed proportion is determined by using EMV mixed design method in conjunction with Nanso mixed design method. So here this is EMV and SCRACE means self-compacting recycled aggregate concrete using equivalent mortar volume method, and this is SCRACET, that's means self-compacting recycled aggregate concrete by using equivalent mortar volume method, and with treated RCA. So with we have in this case, I am using the treated RCA. Treated means I have already told you about the treatment. So here I am taking the treated RCA. So now this is your proportion of all the material which you required for the proportion or for the mixed design. This is the result and discussion. Result shows that the mechanical properties or the compressive strength of the concrete which is prepared with treated RCA and by using equivalent mortar volume somehow shows the same result or marginal difference between the virgin aggregate. Means if I go for recycled aggregate with treatment and by using equivalent mortar volume, we can achieve the strength which is same as compared to SC self-compacting concrete by using normal aggregate or by using virgin aggregate. So this is our main objective. My main objective is to finalize or is to make the RCA more sustainable or to make the RCA to produce more sustainable concrete. So it is my first point is use RCA 100% replacement to no problem. Doing treatment, first go for the treatment process, second go for the mixing approaches, and third go for the equivalent mortar volume method. If we follow these 3 different methods, then you can surely achieve the desired strength or maybe more than the desired strength you can achieve after long days of curing. So this equivalent mortar volume method and the treated RCA gives you the best result, which is maybe more than the results of self-compacting concrete using natural aggregate. So this is the results in which we have done the compressive split and flexural strain, and this is the again microstructure studies. The microstructure studies is same or is shows this method. This figure shows the same behavior as of previous one. Again, this is the for the mechanical properties. Again, if you are you need to perform durability properties because this is not in the experimental studies. We go for the practical one, and so in practical world, we have to check for the durability properties, because we have lots of environmental problems like acid rain, carbonation penetration, corrosion, like and like acid and like RCBT, rapid chloride, ions penetration. So you definitely check for durability properties as well as mechanical properties. So here results for durability properties. We have performed some durability properties, and the result is same as of mechanical properties. This is the third parameters. Fourth, like if I go for the heat cured concrete, means everything is same, self compacting, mixing approaches same, recycled aggregate I have used, the processes and the mix design is equivalent motor volume method. But here now means we have done, or we like we want to elaborate this thing, that heat cured concrete. What is the effect of heat curing in self-compacting concrete using RCA? Is it like useful, or can we go for this further? And if there is any kind of disadvantage, and if any kind of like failure, so you before justifying anything, you need to check each and every parameters. So here we have checked the heat cured concrete, the properties like the mixing approach is same, ESMA SFC, the percentage of RCA is same, the mix design is EMB, and the plasticizer and mixture, so everything is same. But here we have checked for the heat cured concrete. So what is the difference, and what is the difference between the mechanical properties of heat cured concrete having recycled aggregate? So both the concrete, like normal concrete and recycled concrete, is under the heat cured chamber, and then after some time we have checked the strength of heat cured concrete. Both the concretes are heat cured, but the properties and but the materials are different. So we have checked the strength after some time of heat curing, and we will find out that the compressive strength as well as the durability properties is same, means there is no more difference. And we can't say that okay, my recycled aggregate concrete is failure. No, the properties is somehow same, like in the recycle the concrete using recycled aggregate. So we can say okay, my recycled aggregate and my self compacting recycled aggregate concrete is okay under the heat curing, or under the condition of heat cured. So we can go for this thing, because we have checked the result in our laboratories, and it is okay, and it is safe to use the self compacting recycled aggregate concrete under heat curing condition. So here we have checked the compressive strength, we have checked the split tensile strength. Again, we have checked the durability properties, uh, and this is the your microstructure studies. And then we move for the conclusion part. So my conclusion is, what is the conclusion? So conclusion is I have already told you that with the 7% of silica fume, I have checked that all the phase properties of concrete is in the guideline, which is given by the European Border Provision. So all the phase properties are in the range uh, of European guidelines by using 7% of silica fume. And we have observed different percent of improvement. So here we have noted that the experimental result with 100% replacement of RCA, like TSMA, means two-stage mixing approach, gives that much percentage improvement of compressive strength, flexural split, and E means static modulus of elasticity, then that of normal mixing approach. And when we are going for TSMA SFC, we further achieves the some different like the improvement of different properties with respect to TSML. So here we have concluded that we can go for the cycle aggregate concrete with some modification. So we can't go with recycled aggregate concrete as of normal aggregate concrete. No, we need some changes. We need some modification. After using different type of modification, we definitely go for the use of recycled aggregate concrete in practical life. This is not like I'm saying this thing not based on my experimental results, but it is like important. And in lots of the countries, like in foreign lands, they are using the recycled aggregate concrete to construct their structure. And now in we have different recycling plant in India. In Delhi, we have one recycling plant. In lots of places, we have recycling plant, and many of our researchers and scientists are now doing research on this recycled aggregate concrete, because it is very much important to use this construction and demolition waste and make environment like happy. So this is all about the conclusion and future scope. If anyone want to do something in cycle aggregate concrete, so you can go for to test the long-term curing. Means I have done the curing of 56 days. So you can go for 1 year of curing. So if you want to do something, so you can go for the long-term curing of self-compacting concrete first. Second, we can use RCA and check their performance. Performance means the cycle aggregate under static, dynamic, and impact loading. This is very much important to check whether the cycle aggregate is okay, or it is like safe in dynamic and static loading. Second is the bars. So we need to check this bond behavior. So this is the future scope, and this is the references, and this is the managed of publication. So thank you, and recycle today for better tomorrow. So thanks.